Let me show you a very simple document processing system that you can use to always extract information from your PDF, that's your receipt, your invoice, or whatever, into a very structured database, like say your Google Sheet, your Airtable, whatever you would prefer. So let's just go into it. This system is going to be very simple, and it's something that you can just easily build even with no, even if this were to be your first automation, right? You can just build this up so that it will save you that 5-10 minutes you used to go through documents manually to get it, to extract data, to get data, and then put into your structured database, right? So let's just go into it. For this setup, we're going to use make.com. So we are just going to call, when you sign in, this is the dashboard that you will see. So you just go to create scenario here. And once you are in your new scenario, dashboard, what you want to do is create your trigger. So ideally, what I want to do here is whenever I add a new form or whenever I add a new document to my Google Drive, a particular folder in my Google Drive, that means I want it to extract some details for me from that, that document. So I'm going to do Google Drive here. And what I want to do is watch for files in a folder. So anytime a new file is added to that folder, I want it to start running for me. So I'm going to go ahead. If you want to establish your connection here, it's just the same process as establishing your Gmail connection. I have a video on how to establish Gmail connection. So once you are there and trying to establish a Gmail connection, just add the Google Drive API as well. When you are enabling the email, the Gmail API, just go ahead and enable the Google Drive API. That's what's going to help you establish your connection here. So, but if you want a dedicated video, you can just let me know in the comments. I can do one for you. So we are going to choose our folder here. So I'm going to say invoice here. So anytime I add a new invoice anytime I add a new invoice in my invoice PDF, that's when I'm going to trigger this to start running. So I can just set my limits to whatever, but for this example, I'm going to do one. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this. I choose when to run. I can just do all, just so I think I already have things there so that it can run that for me. So there's going to be a loopholes to this, right? First is what kind of files do you want to be extracting? If it's strictly PDF, then your next module would just be what handles PDF. But if it's going to be a mix of PDF, images, then you might have to consider having a router, right? Something that will, because the processing for having a router, because the processing for image is going to be different from the processing for PDF. So if you are going to be mixing your file types in this folder, what I recommend is have a different route to handle different file types. But for this one, since I said I'm going to keep it simple, I'm going to be assuming that the only files that you're going to be uploading there are going to be PDFs. So what we are going to do is add our next module, which is going to handle processing the PDF. So we are going to call pdf.co. That's what you can use to extract information from a PDF. So there are other ones as well, but this pdf.co gives you, I think, 10,000 free credits when you sign up. So that can be enough for a bunch of files before you can start paying for it. So we are going to click on this pdf.co. So what we want to do is so we are going to do parse a document here, or you can do invoice parser if you are always if this is going to be for your invoice. We are going to do invoice parser here because what we're doing here is extracting details from invoice. So what we want to do here is input file. We are going to okay, so one thing that I did forget was to download the file into this particular setup, because ideally once it finds that file, it just shows you the URL. It doesn't download it into it doesn't upload it rather into the setup so that you can work with it. So add a module here that downloads it. So we are going to do download a file here. So what we want to do is this file ID here. So we save this and then we save this. So the next thing, if we go back to our PDF now, we're going to see the file here, which is just going to automatically map it from the one it has downloaded, right? So we can get that. and then you can go ahead and list the custom fields that you want to extract here. It's going to go ahead and list its own field, but you can always list your own fields that you want to extract here. Say customer name, whatever you want to extract here. Then you can save these. So you do that and then you save these. So your last module is going to be the module that goes ahead to add this data into your database, say your spreadsheet or your Airtable, whatever you want to do. So for this, I'm going to say, let me just add a new row to my spreadsheet. But if you want it to maybe search, if this is an invoice and you want it to go and search in your customer database and get their name and that way use that to update, by all means, what you can do here is add a module that searches your database. So say I do Google Sheet here. I'm going to do search. So I'm going to do search rows here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. My spreadsheet, and then I can call this, what is my spreadsheet called again? So my spreadsheet is called this invoice reminder. What I can do is filter by, let me see what this returns for me so that I can use that to get this. So let me run this one so that I can get this pdf.co data. So I can use that to run the Google Sheet module. Okay, so it has exported that for us. So let's see what we get here. So the customer here, there's actually no, so I would not be able to search this because what I'm getting here is, for the customer here, what I'm getting, I didn't get any name because I don't think there is a name on that receipt, on the invoice that it is working with. So it did not get any invoice. So now that we have that, what you can do here, you can either feed this into your database, whatever you want to do. So let's just say we want to add a row. We want to add a row of all of this data. So we'll do Google Sheet here, and we'll do add a row, and we select our database. So say I do inventory here. Although this does not make sense, but I'm just showing you what you can do. So you can go ahead and add all of your data here. If you want it to have, you can put the person's name here. You can put the vendor name here, which is your own name, the person's contact address here, their phone, their email. There is a lot that you can get here. So you just go ahead and map all of these fields to this one and you save these. So now every time you have a new file and you add it into that folder, it will go ahead and extract all the necessary information that you want it to extract and add it in your database for you. So that way you will always have all of your documents properly processed and important information extracted and fed into the right database. I really hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment. And if you want a custom setup for your business, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn will be tagged in the comments. And that being said, this is the end of our tutorial today. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Mwah.